What? You know, I was going to sit there. You think you're going to sit there? Sit your chair now? Guess I'll just have to find somewhere else to sit. You know, I was planning on sitting in this chair now, and you're not going to let me sit here either. How about this one? Can I sit in this one? You gonna let me sit in this one? You gonna let me sit in this one? Yeah. Why don't you just play with my feet? Hey everybody, welcome to Life with Sunny Lea with Kathy Jarvis. And I have two little friends that are being a pest here. But it's another week, first week of September, and it's almost over. And it has been an interesting week. Hello, Tiger. You want to be on the thing too? What is it with you guys? No. Well, Sunday was my birthday. And we celebrated it by going out to eat. And it's the first time in 10 years that all three boys were home for my birthday. So that was wonderful. I mean, that was my birthday present, really, to have them all three home at one time and on my birthday. So I really enjoyed that. Did have a problem with Dusty Rose. About midnight, she started having some loose bowel movements, and she had one at midnight, one at 3, and one at 10. And then she was okay again. But it was just enough to make me wonder what was going on and to keep a close eye on her. And she turned out, okay. But I was kind of worrisome that day. Monday, Bill went in and collected the rent from the apartments, and then he and Chris went to Indianapolis. And while they were gone, I charged up my new mini chainsaw. Now, he's used it before, but it's the first time I'd used the mini chainsaw. And I trimmed up some of the sucker branches off the elm tree and the crepe myrtle tree and the rose of Sharon trees. And there's some other work I want to get done. I want to take some major limbs out on some of the other trees, but we may have to do the big chainsaw with that, and we are going to wait until the tree goes dormant in the winter when all the sap is down on the ground, so that minimize the shock to the tree. And I fixed a campfire dinner. Tiger, you back again? I fixed campfire dinner for supper, and then afterwards we spent the evening playing board games. And that was really fun. We hadn't done that for a long time with everybody. So that was really, really nice. We did decide to move Dusty down into the enclosed porch for the night. That morning, Monday morning, she nipped me pretty good when I first woke up in the morning. She just was nice and licking and stuff, and I didn't get up fast enough for her, so she helped me along there. So we decided we're going to put her into her enclosed porch in her room until she learns not to nip. Oh, then what did we do on Tuesday? Tuesday was a beautiful day, and I took the cats and put them all in the catico for the day. And the only bad thing was my truck broke down. So that's 20 years old. Maybe time to get a new one. I don't know. I hope not. I really like this truck. I've had it for a long, long time, and I feel comfortable driving it. And we do need a truck. So anyway, it broke down, and we're in the process of trying to find someone around here locally that will work on it. And mechanics are getting harder to find. Very hard. And one said they couldn't get to it until the 25th. Another one said he couldn't get to it until the 17th. And I think we found one today, on Saturday. I think we found one Saturday that said they could get it in on Monday or Tuesday. So it took a while finding place that would even look at the truck, let alone fix it. Did have another problem with that. Dusty's been a problem a lot this week. Tuesday, she realized that her grass on that pea pad will come off of the tray. So she was dragging it around and trying to eat the plastic grass. So I had to vacuum her room and put the tray back together. And Wednesday, she really tore into it. And I actually had to remove the grass from the tray for a while and leave it just with the tray. And she used the tray to pee, but unfortunately she did not use it to poop. She would poop on the concrete. So it meant I had to somehow or another come up with a plan to get the grass back onto the tray. I ended up taking some old tile for my mosaic tile work. I had some large pieces that were oblong in shape, and I ended up putting those around the edge, and that seems to have worked. And I put those up on, let's see, Wednesday, I think is when I came up with that ideal. And it's been working ever since. Wednesday also, Bill and Chris went back up to Indy, and while they were gone, I worked on a puzzle and finished it. While I was waiting for Dusty to calm down because she was in a hyper mood. She wanted to nip everything. And so I got that puzzle together and got the house pretty much straightened up. Thursday, I had to get a pea sample to take in for Dusty. It had been 2 weeks since her last visit, where I was told to wash her twice a week underneath that area because she was having basically a discharge, and it wasn't something you could see, but it was enough that it made the area around it sticky and gunky. So I had to wash that twice a week for the last 2 weeks, and it was time to take a sample in. And she was something else about that too. First of all, she peed on the old area that already had, that when I was cleaning up the pee from the night before, so I couldn't use that. And then she pulled down the curtains, and when I was putting the curtains back up, she went over to the pee pad and peed, so I didn't get that. And then she went and she started to pee, and I put the collector plate underneath of her, and she tried to grab it and take it and run with it, so I didn't catch that sample. So it was like the fourth sample of the day that I finally caught, and we took that to the vet on Thursday. And I also took a sample of her stools just in case, to show him the consistency and the color of it, since she'd had that problem on Sunday. And got back from him. He didn't want to do the stool sample. He said it was okay, but he did say I could get some medicine to help the how do you put it, the overreacted GI system, if I wanted it. And I said no, I'll wait until the next day to find out how she was doing. Plus I wanted the results of the urinalysis, because I had a sneaky suspicion she was going to have medicine for it. So Friday, I was also told to hold off on her heartworm medicine because she was supposed to have gotten that day. And on Friday I went back. I had to get blood work for myself for my regular doctor's visit. And we stopped in at the vet's office afterwards, and they did have this results of the urinalysis. She did have bacteria. She did have crystals. So she's on an antibiotic for the next 14 days, and then that's the 14th day is also the day that she goes back for her next visit. So that's going to work out nicely. Hopefully she'll get her shots, be able to get the rest of her puppy shots and her rabies shot then. If not, I'll have to make an appointment for the next one. But anyway, she's on antibiotics right now, and seems to be doing okay. She's had them Friday, and she had them just today. On Friday, we went to the gym. We hadn't gone to the gym for a while. We went to the gym, and then we went out to eat, and we got groceries. And on Saturday, which was our 50th anniversary, we went out and had lunch. Went out for lunch, kind of a lunch date. And that's about all we did. I did take Dusty out for a short walk on the concrete. He originally told me that a week after her 3rd shot, she would be able to go outside, you know, and he said in the meantime I could take her out on concrete and gravel, which is the safest, and try to keep her off the grass. Backyard grass is usually okay, but since we live out in the country and there's wild animals going across it, he said it was, you know, best to keep her on the gravel and the concrete. And they changed it the next time we went, and he said, well, she wouldn't be fully vaccinated until a week after her last shot, which is not going to happen until the 19th. So I looked up on the internet, and most of the internet says after the 3rd shot, they're pretty much fully vaccinated. The other one's just a booster. So on Saturday, we took her for a very short walk out in the driveway and around the pavements on the sidewalk. She did get into the little grass, but not playing it. She just kind of back feet got caught. And I figure it's not much difference than me walking around in the chicken pen and in the yards and stuff, and then going in with my shoes and her grabbing my shoes. So I figured, what the heck? She needed the exercise. She needed to get outside. She needed the brains to stimulate her brain, to give her something to think about besides trying to nip my arm all the time. We are still working on keeping her from doing that. We're doing better. As you see, most of them are healed up. I've only got 2 new ones for the past week, which isn't too bad. We've tried so many things. What I'm doing now, I'm still doing the tug where you make her sit and wait until you get started, and then you stop and you tell her to drop it, and then you thank her for it, and you give her a treat. And this is to keep her to know when enough is enough. So when you say stop, or you know, or drop it, she knows to leave go. So I've been working on that. And also, if she does nip, or if she starts nipping even, I just walk out of the room, you know, and don't go back. Or if we're playing a game, everything just stops for a whole minute, and then she has to sit and wait until I start again. So we're working on that, and I'm really hoping that by being outside a little bit and having something new will relieve the boredom and hopefully wear her out a little bit. And because she's really good when she's being trained, she's really good when she's got something entertaining her, but the minute she gets bored, she's looking for something more to play with, and that's when she'll grab your arms or your legs or your clothing and starts pulling. So hopefully we can get this nipping, biting under control soon. And because she's growing up fast, so fast. So we're working on that, and I've got new treats. My worst bites came from between the times when we didn't have treats. I opened a new bag of treats the day she got the diarrhea, and I was afraid that bag of treats might have been bad, so I didn't give her any treats until I got to the store again. So now we've got all beef trainable treats, and they're by Blue, and I've never had them before, but she really seems to like them, and they're beef, they're not chicken, so hopefully that works out well. Stay tuned. I'll let you know next week if we have any success on this not nipping. Right now I got a little kitty cat that wants attention. Like I said, anybody needs a cute little cat. I got 2 of them. They're bonded. They need to be together. But yeah, they're sweet. Yes. Tiger and Munchkin. Yep. And if you call Munchkin, they both come. Like I said, they're bonded. They go together everywhere. Alright. So, that is my week. Douglas goes back to his apartment tomorrow. He's been here all week. Greatly enjoyed that. And he's coming back at the end of September. And then at the end of October, he's moving back. So, looking forward to having him home for a while. So, like, share, subscribe, and I'll let you know how Dusty goes with her antibiotics and how she goes with her training. And see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.